What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. And before I start this video, I would like to say, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're not going to go too deep into anything because I already did a pretty good video on Friday. What I want to do today basically is my prediction. So here's what we've got going on. We already know that we had a relatively good day as far as it goes on Friday. We did finish up at $5.18. So we were up 1.37% on the day. Now, the interesting thing that I want to point out is in the after hours, we're up an additional 1.5%. So the stock seems to be telling us something here. It has made a very clear arrow telling us that it wants to go up. I don't know if anybody else noticed this. Actually, I do know a couple people noticed it. In fact, someone in my comments section did say, "Hey, what about that apparent up arrow?" Well, yeah, it's there, and I didn't notice it until after I had made the video. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyhow, it really doesn't mean anything, but hey, it's fun to play with, right? So the one thing I really want to point out is that yesterday, after we had crossed the 50 over the 200 MA, so this is the blue line here is my 50-day moving average, and the red line is my 200-day moving average. Once we crossed over that 200-day moving average, which is considered the golden cross, we made a pretty good run in the upwards trajectory towards that $5.20 mark, where 520 did act as resistance. Knowing that 520 is resistance because it is also support, we can expect that. Now, you'll also notice that it basically consolidated for quite a while, holding that 50-day MA above the 200. And when the 50-day did come down to meet the 200 during this minor short attack right here, it did make an abrupt return back to that 520 range, not allowing that 50-day moving average to cross over for very long at all. In fact, if you look, it was minor. So with that being said, it's a very bullish signal, showing that it also continued into the after hours, holding above the 200-day MA. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is the MACD and the RSI. So currently, the MACD, and this is on the 1 minute time frame, is hooking up. We're starting our green bars going in the upwards direction. The signal line, or the MACD line, has just crossed the signal line. Now, of course, this is in the after hours. And if you look back here, coming into the after hours, we had the same exact situation, just starting to come up into the green, making this really nice run up. Now, we know that the after hours volume is skewed. We do take it with a grain of salt. However, we can still consider the MACD and the RSI as a good indicator on what is to come in the opening pre-market hours, I should say, for the stock. So let's go ahead and move on forward into that. I do have a very strong feeling that, here, let me fix my chart here. You know, before we go into all of that, I want to take a step back. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. So the one thing I do want to point out right here in the 5-minute chart is over the course of the last couple of days, in fact, it's been 1, 2, and 3 trading days, we have formed another cup and handle. And it seems to me like this stock really, really likes it. Now, you'll also notice that when we go to a different time frame, this is the 30-minute time frame. When we go to a different time frame, the MACD, or the, well, yeah, really all of it tells a different story. The 30-minute time frame shows the RSI is getting ready to bounce off of the overbought line, the 70 line, where the MACD is showing that it crossed over a while ago, basically middle of the day, and it is still in the upwards trajectory, not really hooking down quite yet. And the RSI isn't hooking down either. It's still wanting to push forward. And also you'll notice that the 50-day moving average is below the 200-day moving average, but we are currently above the 200-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average is hooking up. Again, another indicator I look at when I make my prediction. You guys are starting to see how I do it. So, with the stock hooking up, with this hooking up, and our Fibonacci retracement in place, boom, we can see what has happened to make a cup and handle. We had our initial run up, right to here. We made our cup. We had another run up back to our exact same line right in here, making our handle in the after hours. See here? So run up, double top, handle. Handle moving in the upwards trajectory. Get rid of that line. Yeah, I want to keep that up there. Get rid of that line. Okay. So, with all of that being said, the last time frame I want to look at is the 1 day. Now, I have called this out many times already as well. Look at this very beautiful cup and handle. Look at that. That is one heck of a handle ending on a very green doji candle. Doji meaning indecision. Indecision meaning green, meaning bullish. Okay? So, back to this time frame. Back to right here. Let's get the prediction out of the way. So, obviously, I've already stated how bullish I am on Monday. However, I am going to go ahead and give you my bear prediction first, because I always do. I never leave the bear prediction out unless I'm typing it up, because at that point it's irrelevant. So, my bear prediction first for Monday. First and foremost, we're going to come back down to where we ended towards the 520 range, and we're going to make our morning dip. Morning dip is going to go to $5. Now, of course, like I've said multiple times over, if we crack the $5 mark, look for 480. 480 being the next strongest level. Now, I will say that it looks like we did post up a nice level of support right in the 490 to 495 range. So we're going to go ahead and put a line there just so that we know we've got it, and that it may be able to use this to slow it down coming to the 480 range. Now, I don't foresee us going that low. I think $5 would probably be our tip point as far as the morning dip. Now, once we've hit that point, expect for it to come up and make a nice little retracement back to 510, maybe even 515, before it gets rejected again, maybe even at that 520 level, knowing that it is currently a level of resistance, and pushing it back down towards the 510 range, where it would probably consolidate, maybe even pushing back towards a possible green day finish. Yeah, I know, my bear prediction said a possible green day finish, but that's because I still think that even if we were to test lower levels today, we're still going to make a nice bounce back. Now that the bear prediction's out of the way, let's shrink this chart up so that way we can see some good numbers. Let's bring us down to reality. All right. So, I honestly do not foresee us retracing back down. I do think we're going to continue with forward momentum in the pre-market. I would actually look for us to mount the 530, 535 channel, a channel that we're very comfortable in, right up in this range, right in here. 535 to 545 is a great channel for us. If we get in here before we open up and we fire out of the gates from here, you can expect 550. Now, I'm still not going to rule out a morning dip, but the morning dip is going to bounce off of 520, in my opinion. It will bounce off of 520, turning 520 into a strong support level again, where it will rocket back towards the 535 range, 545 range, pushing through 550, mounting 565, where we have seen some resistance before, bouncing off that 565 range, where it may make another retest of 580, okay? If we can make a retest of $5.80 and break through that, $6 is a very realistic mark in 1 day. That's a pretty good movement for 1 day as well. Moving a total of, 80 cents in total? Now, keep this in mind. We have struck $6, and that's why the $6 line is purple, because I know that is going to be a super, super strong level of resistance. In order to turn resistance into support, we not only need to break it, but we need to break it and hold it and travel above it, hitting it a few times. The more times you hit a level of resistance, once you've come above it, you turn that into a strong level of support the more times you bounce off of it. I'm not foreseeing over 6 in 1 day, but if it happens and we turn this into support, baby, you better look out, because Tuesday is going to be stellar. So that's what I've got on my prediction for the day. Like I said, I think we're going full bull. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of bear. Yes, we may see a minor pullback in the morning. We're used to that. That's kind of normal. But it is what it is. Shorts are going to keep trying to pile in on this thing. But what has happened is we did have about, what was it? 2 million roughly contracts end in the money that did need to be hedged for. Now, also keep this in mind, as contracts come in the money, the market makers and the hedge funds do hedge their positions as they come available. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they took care of all of it. Anybody who exercised their contracts, those positions will have to be covered on a T2 to T6 delay. So that will be happening throughout the course of this coming up week. I wouldn't look for that to be the Monday numbers. That's going to be more closer to your Tuesday, Wednesday numbers if you see any of the hedge funds and market makers coming in to buy the stock to cover any exercise calls that were exercised, that were inside the money on Friday. So, with that being said, that's all I got for you today. Like, subscribe, and do what you got to do. Make sure you comment below for the algorithm. Make sure you send this out to your friends. I do want to say that if we see that bull day tomorrow, I want to make sure I see all the comments inside my comment section saying, Uncle Smokey, you nailed it. Now, of course, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a psychic. I don't know whether this thing is going to hit all of those numbers that I said. That is just my personal opinion, my prediction. But take it for what you will. Peace.